We here on Keeping It a Buck50. We got a special guest in the building. How you feeling today?
Good. I feel great.
What you want the people to call you by? What's your name?
I'm Ashley J. That's what people know me by. But yeah, my name's Ashley. And yeah.
A little shy.
I've never done a podcast before. I feel like I'm in an interview, but it's really just conversation, like you said.
Yeah, that's how it really be. It's more so like a conversation, but just act like nobody watching you and shit.
All right.
So, how my podcast be though, it be more so like letting people get to know you. You know how we be on the internet, and you got a lot of people, females and niggas, who think they know you. So
That's a fact.
it's like a little insight to hear it out the goat's mouth. Feel me?
Yeah. I feel like, if you have a social media presence, like a lot of people tend to like think they know you or your life and details, but it's all fake.
That's a fact. So how was your upbringing? How many siblings you have?
How my siblings? I have 3 siblings. I grew up with my sister, and then I had 2 half siblings. They're younger. I didn't grow up with them, but yeah, they're like my babies.
Yeah, that's what's up. Make sure you talk a little closer to the mic just
I
so
can't.
they can hear you.
My bad. But
Growing up, did you have your father in your life?
yeah, I did. My parents were divorced, so it was like interesting situation. Like I spent time with my mom most of the time. My dad lived out of town a lot, so I would see him on weekends and things like that. But yeah, my family wasn't like, it was mainly me, my mom, my sister growing up.
Yeah.
Yeah, for the most part.
Do you remember like some of the things your dad taught you like or told you growing up that stuck with you?
My dad, he wasn't around a lot like in the beginning, so I don't really like remember a lot. Our relationship over my course of my life has gotten stronger as I've gotten older. But like gems he always said and dropped to me, he always said like in terms of like relationships with people, like hold highly their word. If you can't trust their word, if somebody's not going to do what they say they're going to do, don't trust that person. Don't keep them around in your life. But yeah, I mean, he's always like taught me that, and like mainly like work ethic. I think that like both of my parents really like instilled a really strong work ethic in me and my siblings. Like at the end of the day, like it don't matter what you do, just work hard at it, and we're not gonna judge you. We're not gonna, put these stipulations on what you need to do, but as long as you work hard at what you do and you're passionate about it, like we're always going to be proud of you no matter what. So I think like in my own life I ended up like realizing that more recently, I think, like in terms of following what I really want versus what is told I should want. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
As long as I have passion for it and I work hard at it, like
that's some
it'll
real
be
shit
great,
though. Like from your dad low key not being around as you got older, did you have to put your pride to the side to forgive him?
Yes. We ended up having like to have conversations about things, and this goes for both of my parents. Like I think it's important to do this with your parents in general. Like, they were just trying, they were doing the best they could. You know what I mean? And a lot of parents, most parents they are just doing the best they can. And as an adult, you realize that because life be life, eh? So like, I think that as I got older, like if an issue would arise or he had a like problem with me, like something I did, or we got into an argument, like I had to upright like say to him, hey, like these are things you did, like you not being around, for example, like during this time, like made me act a certain way as an adult. You know what I'm saying? And look for validation else, like in other places because you weren't around. And I had to have that conversation. You know what I mean? And I think that that was like healing for both of us because he ended up like being real with me about the situation he was in with my mom and like why their relationship didn't work out, why there was a certain dynamic, why he couldn't see me as much, why he, you know, his own struggles he was going through at the time. And I think that no doesn't like not make it, it doesn't make it okay. You know what I mean? It doesn't make it like, oh, I'm better now, but like it's the first step into moving forward in your life because like who has time to like blame, or like I'm not gonna blame my dad or my mom or anyone in my life for like the way my life goes, like
Nah,
you
that's
know.
real shit. Cause like in life when you were a kid, I feel like you think your parents are like super people, feel me? And then it's like right now, like if I was to have a kid right now, it's like I don't even got life figured out. Only thing I could do is the best
Yeah,
for my kids.
of
So
course.
when you just grow up, communication and talking with people, and then you like being older, you'll realize like, damn, life is real. This shit, like,
It
and
is.
some people crumble up and don't fight their problems. Like you could just ball up in the corner and just hide from your responsibilities and stuff.
I think I heard somebody say, I forget who taught me this, said this to me once, but is they said like your traumas in life and you know certain things that you were dealt, like that's not your fault, like that's not on you, like you know you were given those cards, but it is your responsibility and it is your fault if you choose to let that like crumble you later on. You know what I mean? You're not responsible like for what happened to you, but you're responsible from healing from it. Cause like, who else is gonna do that for you? You know what I
Nobody.
mean? So, you know, that's like something I've really tried to, you know, live by every day. You know what I have things that have happened to me and things that gone in my life that, you know, I can ask, oh, why me? Why, you know, that sucks. Like, poor me, pity party. But, like, you know, nobody's going to sit around and just have that pity party with you. That's just only
Yeah.
going to be you. So, you know, it ain't that deep. It doesn't have to be that deep. Just move forward and positivity, man.
No, true. You remember
Got
like
it.
what elementary school you went to, like,
I went to Plank South in Webster.
or
Yeah, I grew up in Webster. I went to public school in Webster up until high school, and then I went to Mercy, the all girls school, Catholic school.
how was like elementary for you? Like, if you look back, think.
I had a I had a lot of anxiety going to school. I got teased and bullied sometimes. I had trouble like kind of fitting in a little bit. I feel I played sports, so that kind of thing. I feel like that was like my saving grace, like
Yeah.
getting like making friends growing up and stuff. But like I always kind of felt like, you know, I knew a lot of people, but not a lot of people really knew me, or like, you know what I'm saying? And I think I kind of still feel like that today. Like even as an adult, I've always kind of been like I'm really outgoing and bubbly, and like if you have I can strike a conversation up with anyone, but like I have this inner layer to me that I don't let everybody see. You know what I
Yeah, I
mean?
feel like I got that going on too, though.
Yeah.
Feel me? What sports you play?
I played soccer. Soccer was like my life growing up. Like I think my mom made me, not made me. Well, she kind of did. She kind of just threw me into it, like at the age of 3, like really. But yeah, that was like a huge passion of mine growing up all the way up until high school. That's kind of the main reason why I chose to go to the all girls school, because they had like a great soccer team and stuff. So.
Nah, that's dope. I played soccer growing up.
Oh yeah.
And, sports do help you. Like, I feel like that do help you get out of anxiety because, like, you talk to people. You learn life lessons and shit in sports when you
Facts.
young. So
Yeah, I always said like when I have kids, like I'm not gonna make them do a specific sport. I'm not gonna be like, you have to play soccer, you gotta play football. Like we're gonna be great, you know. But
yeah,
I'm gonna encourage them to do at least like team activities because that stuff it not only like keeps you in shape and keeps you healthy and like instilling a healthy lifestyle in your kids is important, but like I think those lessons of like obedience and like what's the word I'm looking for? Like like having that responsibility of like, you're only as great as how hard you work. You know what I mean? I feel like that's one of the first things that as a kid that sports teaches us, you know?
nah, that's true. Did you ever score goal in soccer?
Yeah, I did. One time, honestly, one time I scored from like half field, and I remember it was the happiest day because I was a defender, so
Yeah,
I really didn't score the goals. I played sweeper, which was it's like the last defender before the goalie.
yeah.
So like I mainly was like defending, but yeah, I scored a couple
You
goals.
kicked that bitch hard as a
Yeah,
bit.
I had half shit. That's why I got strong legs. Yeah.
Yeah.
I literally my legs have always been strong. I've always been training. I remember my mom taking me to the field like and just making me run in the August before tryouts and just being like, I hate it here. But those are like really great memories though,
Yeah,
like with me
looking
and my
back,
mom.
like that's how it always be during the moment. You hate it, but then when you look back, it be like, damn, that shit
Like I
was
got a
dope.
cramp. I was that girl too. I'm not gonna lie, I was that girl sometimes. We were doing running conditioning. I'm like, oh, I got a cramp, guys. I gotta stay.
Nah,
But yeah, no, those are good memories. And I wanted to play in college, but I ended up having like back problems, like disc things, like with my spine. So they were like, yeah, no, don't do that. It's like it's time to hang it up.
damn. Well, I see you said like you used to get bullied and stuff. Like, what you used to get bullied about?
Um, my weight. Yeah, I was always like I was heavier set like as a kid. And I mean, I've never been skinny. Like, probably never will be. Like, it's just the way I'm built. And like, as a kid, that I was really insecure about that. And I kind of just like, I felt like I just looked differently. Like, I had really curly hair that I didn't know how to do. You know what I mean? Like my mom would do it, but like didn't know how to like make it look pretty. So like I didn't feel like I was pretty like the other girls, I guess. So like I feel like I got a little like teased here and there and just, I just felt like I was different. But I remember like, certain times I like wouldn't want to go on the bus. I would make my mom drive me because I'm like, I don't want to deal with the kids today. But yeah, kids can be mean. That's why I'm like when I have kids, I'm gonna be like super protective. Like I'm because I know like the things that I experienced as a child and the way it like mess with my head. Like, yeah.
No, that's real. Do you like remember the day that you climbed the like confidence bridge or something like?
It really wasn't a day. Like, and that's funny because I really worked hard to like love myself over time. You know what I mean? Even like my face, I like thought, I always had a birthmark right here. And like, I always, like, other kids would like, what's that on your face? And I would just like take it to heart. But in reality, like, over time, I kind of just started telling myself like that you're only you. Like there's literally nobody else in this world that looks just like you, acts, talks, breathes, everything just like you. So that's special. And like I think when I realized that, that's when things kind of turned around for me. That's when I like started, loving myself enough to, look my best, and embracing that, it does wonders for your self-confidence and just the way you put yourself out there too, because a lot of that I think is self-sabotage too. I think I held myself back in life a lot more because of that lack of confidence. Like, certain people I wouldn't talk to. Like, that person could have changed my life, but, like, I didn't talk to them because I was shy, or I was, didn't think that they would like me because I got something in my head from something that happened years ago. So just remind yourself that you're the only you. So, like, you should embrace that. Like, take that and run with it, because nobody's ever going to do the same what you do just like that.
Yeah,
You know what I
like,
mean?
I feel like it's still adults that like run away from themselves to this day. Like, you really
Absolutely.
gotta embrace who you is. Feel me? Because like you say, ain't nobody else in the world. But I feel like everybody be wanting to be the same. So when you got everybody trying to be the same, nobody want to look in the mirror and just go their own way and be themselves.
It's hard too. I feel like it's even worse, like, in our generation, and especially like the younger ones, like, because a lot of our lives are broadcasted, like, it's shareable, it's under a microscope, I guess, if somebody wants it to be, you know what I mean? So that constant pressure of, like, what you should be doing, what you should be looking like, the amount of money you should be making, and it's like, that could get to you. That really could get, if you get in your head about that, like, it really can get to you. And like you said, run from your own self. Like, is that really what you want? Or are you just, because you see it on social media, you see that's the perfect life in your eyes. But, like, what about you? Like, what about the life that you can achieve just by being you and tapping into your own passions? That could be your version of perfect, not this other person's life that you watching from an outside
Yeah,
view.
and the internet is a whole trick. Everybody trying to show their best self. So we in that
Facts.
internet era where like you could really pick your phone
Yeah.
up and get inspired by somebody who probably really hate themselves besides that phone.
I'll be the first to admit right now, my life on social media looks so much better than it is. Like, I'm not afraid to admit that. I'm not gonna share with y'all, like, my deepest, like my bad times. Like, no one wants to see that. Like, and it doesn't mean that, like, anybody's fake, but, like, it's your job as the consumer. You're consuming that media. It's your job to have that responsibility or that discernment of whether that's real and whether that affects you. It's not my fault that I'm posting that I'm out the country and I'm doing this and I'm, getting this material thing, or even happiness, like, with my family. Like, yeah, I'm going to share that fun stuff with you, that, like, that real enjoyable stuff, because, like, that's what I want to remember. That's what that's what anyone wants to put out to the world. But to, like, criticize it and be like, oh, it's, you gotta just know it for what it is. Accepting Instagram's Instagram, it's fake.
Nah,
Like,
real shit.
Facebook's, it's fake. It's all what we put out there. Perception's everything.
Definitely perception, everything. It's like it's people that's probably comparing their life with yours. Feel me? Just
Yeah,
because
please
of like
don't.
the likes you get
Don't.
being out the country. They like, damn, I got to be like Ashley, and it's like,
I mean, by all means, that'll motivate you.
yeah, get
I see,
inspired.
when I see, like, a friend, even a stranger, like, wow, you're doing your thing. Like, you just launched a business. You just went out the country for the first time. Like, that's so dope. Like, I want to do that. Like, I think that that's, like, why I strive to have different experiences all the time, because it gives you a new perception on what you want to tap into. Like, I was just in a new city, in a new country for the first time a few weeks ago, and, like, I was like, wow, new goal unlocked. Like, I was walking down this strip of stores and it was so beautiful, and people were just casually going there on their day, going to shop at these high-end stores, and I'm like, I want to come back here and I want to shop here and not have a worry. You know what I mean? Like, I was like, wow, I was using that to motivate me to, like, I got to go back home and I got to work my ass off, and I got to make sure that this business takes off because I want to come here and do this. So, like, I think that treating different experiences and what other people have experienced as a way to motivate you, that's awesome. I think that that's the positive side to social media. You know?
Yeah, being inspired and getting
Yeah.
motivated.
'Cause
It's
I
definitely
like
like
it.
a positive to it, but it's a negative too. But if you focus on the positive, you really could get motivated. Cause like
Thanks.
you was really just like you was in Italy, right?
I was.
And
I
that
was
was
in
dope.
Italy.
I was looking like, damn, I gotta get to Italy. No cap, cause it's
Man,
like,
it was just such a whole different world. And and it was cool because I remember being a kid and being like, I want to go to these places. Like, I'm Italian, and you know, my grandfather, I used to sit with him, and he had dementia, and so when he was losing his memory, he would like look at this book of the Amalfi Coast and like the beaches there and like where he's from, and he would just look at it and we'd point at it, and I would be like, I'm gonna take you there one day, you know what I mean? And it was so cool to like be there, even though, rest his soul, he couldn't be there with me. Like, it was just really, it was like I couldn't even explain the kind of experience it was to just be there and be like, damn, like, I made it. Like, I didn't make it, but like, I made it here. I said I would do this. Like, I said as a kid I would do this, and like to remember that like not many people have that luxury or have the opportunity. Like, you just got to be thankful, and like I said, use it to motivate you to do more. Like, I really came back like kind of like, all right, like I said, new goal unlocked. Like, I want to make that a normal thing,
coming back to the town, was it like a gloomy, like, like was the air like gloomy, like you like I'm back in my
Man. Well, first of all, like, getting back to town was just a nightmare. I had a terrible travel experience. So on top of that, I just remember like looking, I'm in the plane, and I just happened to look down as we're landing, and as I look down, it's like Chilai Ave or something. It just was like dark and gloomy, and I'm like, this is really what I came back to. Oh my God. And then like the post vacation depression set in. But yeah, it was even more like, I was like, yeah, I was already planning on moving back out of Rochester at the end of the year, but I was just like, yeah, this is too much of a jump, man. I gotta have like a buffer.
How was the weather and stuff out there in Italy?
It was really hot.
It was hot over there.
Hot as hell. Some days I like, and what was really funny too? Like, I didn't, like, by the end of the trip, I was like not wearing makeup. Like, I was like, fuck it. No lashes, no makeup. Like, the beauty standards were kind of a little different out there. Like, I didn't feel comfortable wearing like a beat face makeup or lashes or anything. I felt like overdressed a lot. Definitely more natural face look out there. I didn't see not one BBL. Too. Everyone was so natural with their life and their hair, and I'm just like, okay, and I embraced it. I loved it.
It inspired you to just start embracing your natural self.
I was just like, yeah, let me just go. I have it. Everyone's tan. It's summer, and like it's, I don't even have to do all this and get all done up, but yeah, it was an interesting experience, and I'm thankful to have it. We kind of like, we were visiting a friend that had just moved out there, and he was explaining how like, he literally gets grants to live out there. Like, they pay, the country pays foreigners to like do work out there and like get a house.
Kind of would just like get a house and stuff.
Yeah, which is cool, and I see why people do it, because it's definitely a whole new world. Like, and if you don't have nothing tying you down to a certain place and you want a new experience, why the hell not? Like,
what was like cool. Your favorite part about your trip?
My favorite part, this is gonna sound funny. We had like when we were our said friend that lived there, his business partner like had an olive oil company. So it was really cool. Like it was like a holiday out there. It's like it was like their 4th of July. So like we everybody goes to the beaches. Like you know how we all go to the beach, Miami, for the 4th. Same thing there, like for this certain festival or whatever. And everyone goes to like the islands or the beaches. And so we were on this island of Sardinia for a couple days, and they had this like olive tree farm, obviously, like his business partner, and they had mad like grapes, like making wine, like it was a farm, right? And they invited us for their celebration of this holiday to like this pig roast, which is like really random, and like never would have thought like I'd be going to a pig roast in Italy on an island somewhere. Like
That's just like mad
we
pigs.
just went. There was like no, there wasn't. There was like donkeys and goats, but it was so beautiful. It was like an olive tree grove, and the sun was setting, and like mad vines for like the grapes, and they just had this big family party. They cooked us food, and I ate the food that they gave. It was so good. Everything was delicious. Like the wine was homemade, and it was just like, even though I couldn't understand a word they were saying, like I kind of, bits and pieces here and there I would pick up. I can't speak Italian, but even just being around their happiness and like just their family
culture,
vibes.
yeah.
Yeah, like it was so cool. I almost felt like I was at home with my own family. Like they were so welcoming, and I think that was like my favorite part. Like it wasn't all the glamour, like
Yeah.
beautiful beach and the, monuments and stuff. I think like that experience, knowing that a lot of people would never get that, like that was dope for me. That was my favorite.
Nah, that was fire.
Yeah.
Like, did you ever have to deal with like racism, like in the city coming up and stuff?
Racism
Or
towards, yeah, I mean, like I see it all the time. Like I I mean, it's not so blatant up here, but it is, if that makes sense.
yeah, I
You know what
understand.
I mean? Like, when I was just in Italy, like it was kind of blatant. I was like, my friend experienced a lot of rude shit. And like it was just kind of like, whoa, it's out there. Like you just really said that. Like it was interesting. But like I think here it's like in Rochester. You're asking in Rochester.
Yeah, yeah, Rochester.
Rochester, it's kind of like, I don't know, like fake in a way. Like it's like not so out there, but it is. I don't know how to explain it.
Like just being a cute, thick white girl. Like, do you feel like,
Ugh.
cause the Black Kings probably be on your
Bye. But,
So-
ew.
So do it be like? Do you feel like you experience the compare and contrast? Like,
No, I think it's so stupid. I think it's a stupid conversation to even have. I think that like no woman should be fetishized by the color of their skin. It's gross. And like if anyone looks at it that way, they're weird. You know what I mean?
that's
Like I think that if a man like prefers a woman based off of that, they need therapy. They need to love themselves a little more. There's a lot more going on there than like my appearance. But yeah, I don't really get into that kind of stuff because I think it's stupid, and I think everyone needs to like, you like what you like. You're attracted to what you're attracted to. If you're not, you're not. That's cool. It's no dig towards another person. It's no dig towards another woman, or like stop putting women against each other.
yeah. I feel like Black queens.
Why
I
you-
feel like Black queens, like they like say right now, if I was to say I wanted to date a white queen, feel me?
Yeah.
I feel like I will get a lot of a backlash. For
You
that.
would. Just
And it's
because you're saying that.
Yeah.
That's why. Like, why are you saying it? You saying that, like, oh, I prefer her, or I want to try that. Like, it's not something to be tried. Everybody's their own person. Like, yes, there's stereotypes, and there's certain things that like that make me different than a black woman, make me different. You know what I mean? But like, come on, to generalize a woman just because like they're a white queen or black queen, what? Like, you want to get to know that person because they're them. Like, you shouldn't want to like go to a person, like pick somebody because of that. Like, it's not a bike. You're not gonna just try, it's not like a new flavor of food. I'm just gonna try it. Like, it's like, I don't know, that's a little getting into like feminism, you know what I'm saying? But like, I think men like need to chill out with that shit, because it's like, it's like a turn off. It's a huge turn off.
Yeah, that's my whole thing. Is like people are just like believe in God and stuff and Jesus, and it's like they say we all one, and then people will really be trying to like split things up when we all supposed to just be humans. Feel me?
Facts.
Even,
I think like certain. Sorry to interrupt you.
nah, you can say what you was gonna say.
I think just like certain conversations don't need to be had. You know what I mean? I think that like if everyone just stopped talking about it, like, why is it such a big thing? Like, why are we so concerned about it? I feel like everyone's so angry these days. Like, everyone wants to cancel something or wants to say, oh, that's bad. Like, we all say stupid shit. We're humans. We do stupid shit. Like, sometimes we don't think before we act. So it's like, certain conversations don't need to be had. Like, why make it an issue? If you don't want it to be an issue, why are we making it an issue?
Yeah.
Why are we having that conversation of like, oh, I prefer white women over black women? Like, or, even just the topic of racism in general. Like, we're talking about, there's certain things that need to be said, but like, I don't know what I'm trying to say. Like, it shouldn't be so focused on dividing anybody. Because if you're just living your life and you want to like be happy, like, why are you concerned with it? There's bad people everywhere. It don't matter what the hell they look like. Like,
yeah, it really be a spirit energy thing.
Yes, I don't see that. I know like that is so played out these days. Everyone's like, I read energy. I'm an empath. But like, no, for real, I really try to judge people by their energy and how, if they sit well with if I feel safe around you, if I feel at peace. If you trigger my anxiety, I'm not gonna surround myself with you. That shit has nothing to do with race. That is an energy, it's a vibe, it's an aura, and you can sense it the moment somebody walks in the room. At least you, if you want to be aware of it, you will.
Now you could feel it. It's real.
Yeah.
That energy shit real. Like you say, being comfortable around somebody. Somebody could just walk in this room right now, and things would just turn awkward.
Facts.
And that would be the energy thing. Feel me?
Like I joked with you earlier about that girl's podcast. Like, I was going to be the girl, like, who's awkward. And, like, it's an energy thing. It's intentional, though, too. Like, that girl does that on purpose. Like, if you're conscious, if you choose to be conscious of your energy and your surrounding energy, you'll feel it. But it's just people who choose not to and, go by different things. That's bad vibes.
Yeah, even I feel like people need to treat people like if everybody treated people how they wanted to be treated, this would be a nice world.
It could all be so simple.
For real though.
That goes back to like what they told you that in kindergarten. Like, it really could all be so simple, but we're human and things happen to us, and I think it goes back to what I was saying in the beginning. Like, you're responsible like for not letting the shit that happened to you in life like kick your ass. Like life kicks everybody's ass.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
That shit be punching.
Right. Like I've been through, like you've been through stuff I could have probably never imagined. Same with myself, vice versa. You never know what people go through. So like, what does it cost for you to just be kind to them? Like, so that's what I kind of meant earlier with the whole conversation about like why are we having that conversation? It doesn't need to be have about the racism because it's like the minute everyone stops making it a thing is the minute I think everyone's gonna be like cool. Like it will never happen because humans hate and people don't know how to deal with their traumas and the bad things that happen to them. But like that's where like discernment comes in and you gotta be careful with your energy, man.
Oh, that's a fact. What age you started like you got your first job or like start hustling? Like,
I was as early as I could start working legally, so 15. Yeah, my first job was lit though. I went and found a job. It was so fun. Like as a teenager, it was fun. I like did like little birthday parties at this salon.
oh, you decorated and stuff?
Well, no, I like did their hair, nails, and makeup. Like these little girls would come into this salon and have their birthday parties. It was out in Pittsford. These families would spend like hundreds of dollars for these little girls to go get picked up in a pink limo, come bring them there, and we would do their hair, nails, and makeup and like throw a birthday party for them. And I did that every weekend, and I made great money because they had to tip me. And I worked all the way up until I worked there for a while, but yeah, that was fun. That was when I got the taste of like my own money for the first time. I was making good money and like, living life. Got myself a car but yeah, I started working as soon as I could because I don't like to be controlled certain like to a certain extent. Like I like my freedom and being able to do what I want to do. So like when I like realized like, oh, okay, well, I don't have to ask my mom for money if I go get it myself, it clicked. I'm like, I gotta get a job. But yeah, but my mom, like I said, my mom and dad always were like, always taught us that we had to work. We had to work to get what we had.
Was they installing like money management skills to you?
My dad is a lot more frugal than my mom will say. um, uh, I'm not gonna say I was a spoiled kid, but I never went. I don't remember like really, really wanting for anything. Like my mom made that happen for me. She really did. Like both of my parents really worked as hard as they could, and shout out to my mom. She really every year like I just remember like for Christmas, like even wanting something and she made it happen. Like, she would always do it. She would always make it happen. And like, money management, like, yes, one parent more than the other. But my mom always said to me, like, if you want something, you can have it. Like, and that's how I am today. Like, I know I can get everything I want. I know it. And if I want something, if I don't get it what I want, I get very upset and I will get it. And I will get it. And I really don't want to sound like a spoiled brat, but like, you can control that. Go work hard. Go get some money. Go out. Go get a job. And so that's what she taught me more. My dad was more like, okay, credit. This is all that stuff. But yeah,
I feel like most spoiled people don't turn into like self-made go-getters, and that seemed like you were self-made go-getter.
Yeah, no, I had to. When I became an adult, though, I had to tell myself, hey, like that was like now you're an adult. Like you got to get that for yourself now. Mommy and daddy can't bail you out of anything. They certainly can't. Certainly didn't. Certainly won't. And like. Like I was responsible for that because they did it for them. They did it for themselves. Like I'm not saying my parents didn't struggle, like they did, and I'm not gonna put their business out there. But like I seeing that as an adult and having those conversations, like it was it was interesting. It made me realize, like, now I really got to do something with myself. Like, you did whatever you could to get me here. You did whatever you could to get me through school, to send me to school, get me to college. Like, I can't, like, I got to do that for you too. Not just myself, not just because I like nice things and I want things and, like, never, I don't like to deny myself of things, but yeah, like, you can't all go to waste. And I think that was a major part of my maturement, or me maturing as an adult and letting go of that, like, spoiled mentality in a sense. And I guess. I hope it don't sound like that, but yeah.
So what college I went to?
I went to St. John Fisher. I wanted to. I thought, like, being a doctor or a lawyer was probably the only way I could make some money in this world. Like, just because, seeing my family members and stuff and their success, like, I was like, yeah, I want that. Like, my godfather, he's a dentist, and he's one of my role models. Like, just seeing his life and, like, how he was living, I was like, yeah, I want to do that. Like, I want to be a dentist too. So I went to college. I went to St. John Fisher College, and I studied biology, and I hated it. But I was like, I'm the type of person, if I'm like gonna do something, if I told all these people that I was gonna do this, I'm gonna do it. So I struggled a little bit, but I got through college, and I my career goals changed a little bit over time. Like, I got my bachelor's in biology and decided I wasn't really going to go the dentistry route because I in fact did not want to be in someone's mouth all day. Like, yeah, like, it's good money and stuff, but
the grind,
I didn't really want to do it. So I was like, okay, well, I'm, still maybe want to stay in the medical field. So I was getting my hours to go to PA school instead. And then I had to work in the hospital as, like, a tech and, like, really get those patient care hours. And shout out to, like, all healthcare workers, nurses and stuff, because they have some of the hardest jobs. That's a lot. It's not for the weak either. Like, seeing people sick all day and stuff and being able to take care of them, it takes a lot. And I kind of realized that wasn't for me either. Meanwhile, I have this degree, and I'm like, what do I do with this degree? But yeah, like, I kind of went on a different route after that, and I had to ask myself, I'm like, oh God, you have this degree now that you're probably going to waste, and a lot of people do these days. You get a bachelor's, and it's like, okay, you got to continue that certain education for you to get, like, a job. A lot of people don't work jobs in the field that they studied. It's a thing these days, So I'm like, okay, it's okay, but now you got to figure out what you really want to do, like, and I had to tap into really what my passions are and where I want things to go.
So what you, like, doing, like, hair and nails and stuff as a teen, like, you was doing that, right?
No. I wasn't.
The little girls?
Well, yeah, I was doing that. Yeah, I wasn't, like, licensed though. Yeah, I've always been a girly girl. I've always taught myself how to do my makeup and hair. I don't let really people touch it that much.
What made you, like, draw away from it? You don't feel like you could have been great?
You know what? That's so funny. A lot of my friends say that too, like, because I'm so into that. I don't know why I never tapped into that. I think that I don't know. I think that, like, I always just, like, do it. It's like my self time in a sense. Like, I don't know if I could do people hair and nails all day. I know it looks good on me. I know myself, my body, my hair. Just because you're good at doing it yourself and, like, you like doing it doesn't mean, like, you're good at doing it on other people too. And females will understand that. Like,
yeah, some people nice and some people really be fucking people up.
Facts. Like, I remember when I got my makeup done for a fashion show or something, And the girl was talented, don't get me wrong. Like she beat some people's faces great and it was looked beautiful, but she did me and it got to me and I had to go home and take the makeup off. It just wasn't look it didn't look good on me. You know what I mean? I know my face better than anyone else. So I think that just because I experienced that, like I remember I got my makeup done for the first time by like a professional when I was like 15 and she fucked me up. And I was so sad. And I'm like, you know what? No, I know what looks best. So I think that's why I never went that route. I was like, you know what?
After you got your shit
Those
fucked
girlies
up,
can
you
do
just
it.
put it in your own hands like, I'm only touching myself.
Right. And I'm like, God forbid if I'm like that too. And I just don't know. No, let me just do it on myself. You know, occasionally I'll help a friend, my mother do their makeup and hair, but nah, I couldn't do it all day. Shout out to those girlies that do it because that is a great bag. Like it is so like dope seeing so many girls from the town like starting up a lash business. Like we got some really good nail techs, makeup artists, hairdressers here, you know.
Shout out to y'all. That's fine.
Yeah, like I got a lot of friends who are in that industry and they just like are super talented. And I wish there was more money here in that industry because there's some good talent out there. And I feel like a lot of really, really good artists, we'll call them, because, you know, that's what they are. They'll have to take their talents to a new city when they get that big, which is it's great for them, but wish you didn't have to move, you know what I mean? Yeah. I can't tell you, like I've had a couple lash techs move out of town and like, you know,
hurt your feelings.
no, like what am I gonna do? So yeah, it's great. It's a great industry to get into for sure.
Well, I had seen you just drop the new bathing line business, right?
Yes, I did.
What was your insight? Where'd that come from?
It's yeah, so I just launched Loveland lingerie and swimwear. I've been wanting to do this for ever. I started drawing clothes and designing clothes when I was like in second grade. Like that's when I really remember having a sketchbook where I would sit there, and I remember I did a project in school where I did a autobiography on some like I had to do like a book report, and I chose fashion and I chose fashion design, and I showcased my own designs as like a part of the thing. And I think that that's like what lit the switch, and it's always been in the back of my head. But I kind of just was like discouraged from it over time because like I said, like I was told, like, you know, I kind of just was discouraged that I could never make any money doing that. Like, it wasn't secure enough to follow that route.
So you know how to draw and shit?
Yeah. I've always drawn. I've had a sketchbook. Like, I always have all these ideas in my head sometimes that I feel like I don't love to draw, but I have to do it to get those ideas out because, you know, maybe I'll forget it. And I have like a running note in my phone where if I think of a look, like I'll just write it down, like even just the material and like what I'm thinking at the time, so that way it'll refresh my memory later on. But yeah, I've always wanted to do I've always liked to design things, but the lingerie piece, that I started working actually a few years ago for a woman who had a lingerie boutique in the town of Pittsford. She was a designer herself, and I kind of like working for her under her wing and like seeing the industry and how it's such a it's a billion-dollar industry, like, and it's lingerie never goes out of style. It's there. It like women's bodies are women's bodies. Like everything, you know, lingerie looks good on everybody. It really does. So I just like kind of tapped into that world and was like, wow, like there's always a market for this. Like trends will come and go with women's clothing, but lingerie, like you're not like a a garter set and lingerie and bra and panties is never gonna go out of style. So like that's what like sparked that interest in me. So I would say like over the past like 7 years, I've been really on like this. I want to start a lingerie line. Like I was so ready. I've been so ready for years, and I finally did it.
What was like the last step to like make you put it into fruition?
Well, it's being a business like being in that industry, it's hard because like you got to decide there's so many different things you have to decide. Like do you want your own designs to be manufactured? That's one thing. Do you want to start a boutique? Is it like you need a vendor now? Where are you going to get all this stuff? Like that's mainly like the main question you ask yourself. Cuz like not everyone can just sit there and like I don't have the skill set to just like sew up a bra and panty set, or at least like a quality one that I can distribute and sell. So like that was the main thing holding me back. And I think that that's like a lot of business owners when they get into something, they're like, okay, where do I begin? So that was like the main thing, like figuring out that decision and what I wanted to do, how I was going to find it, getting the money to do it. And you know, when life is lifing, like it's easy to put off your dream.
No, for real.
You know, it's so easy to put it off, and like you say, all right, I'll do it tomorrow, or I'll do it when I get a little bit more money. But what I had to do is just be like, all right, fuck it.
Do this shit right now.
I don't care. We could start small, and that's what I did. Like I'm starting small. Like right now, I just have a boutique. Like I'm working on finding a manufacturer and stuff to do my own line like that. But I just wanted to get my brand out there, like time's ticking. And, that's what I did. So, I won't say maybe it was rushed because nothing's rushed, but like I was feeling like I was rushing it at one point, but I really had to get out my head with that and just be like, it doesn't matter. You just got to put it out there. Just fucking do it. Like, it doesn't matter what anyone says, because that's another thing too that gets in your head.
That could hold you back.
For sure.
Validation.
Yes.
You ever like thought about learning how to sew and stuff?
Yeah, and I actually did. Like I have a sewing machine. Like I could do stitches and things like that. Like when I worked for that lingerie designer, we would do alterations in the shop, which is my ultimate goal. I definitely want to have my own shop and have women come in and get a fitting and have it be a whole experience, because seeing that and being a part of that was dope. Like, women would come in and they would get their bras like measured, and we would stitch it for them and do that. So I knew I had to like learn. So I did. I can definitely get better. That's definitely a skill set I'm looking to perfect. But
practice make perfect.
Yeah, it do. And I think like when I am able to make my own samples, that would be really dope.
Yeah, like when you think
it's a work in progress really for sure.
Put it out there.
Yeah, like and be able to just be like, okay, let me go get the fabric. Let me just do this right now. That would be amazing. But one thing about it though, I've also realized is that you can't do it all. When you're starting a business, you want to have your hands in everything, like because it's yours and you want it to be perfect. But I had to get over the pride of asking for help. Like I don't know, I didn't know a lot of stuff. I didn't know like the business side of things. All I had is an idea. I have this idea and this art. How am I going to put it out there? And and I think that asking people for help and asking for other opinions, like that was a huge Band-Aid to rip off too, because that doesn't mean that you're incompetent and that you don't have a good thing. It just means that like that you can't do everything. Like even for your podcast here, like you know what I mean? Like teamwork. I'm sure you had to like reach out to certain people to be okay, like where I gotta get a studio at. You know what I mean? If you got that pride telling you like you got to do it all, you like come on, No, you're not gonna get anywhere.
Like for me, like I ask for help in that discerning instinct. I ask for opinions, but then like it'd be 50-50. Like your opinion gotta shake my soul for me to listen to it. Cause a lot of people will really try to just throw an opinion out there to throw you off. And it's like I like to lose on my own. Feel me? So
I
win on
feel
my
that.
own. But I'm asking for some help because that shit just
I
all be
feel
pride.
that because not
And
everybody's
I know I
opinions are
help.
warranted.
And I know I help somebody, so I'm not scared to ask for help. But
Yeah.
like with the
And
opinions,
maybe I wouldn't even call it the word, like, I wouldn't even use the word help. Like, you know, you're not looking for no handout. You're just,
yeah,
you're looking for
teamwork, like a
inspiration.
team.
Yeah. Assist, like, just some support. Like, having support means a lot, man. It's not all real support, but like having a solid like team is so important. Having some people in your corner that really like fuck
Genuinely
with you,
care for
genuine.
your
Yeah.
operation. Yeah, that shit means a lot.
It does, and it will help. It'll definitely get you, you know, help things move quicker for you. But that's another thing though too. Like people, it has to be genuine. It really does. Like I've I've experienced a lot where people I surround myself with really don't have the genuine intentions that I thought they did. And certain things like this, when you're pursuing your passion and what you want to do and it's yours, that has a way of bringing that out of those ingenuine people. You know what I mean? So I think that's another thing you just gotta guard when you're following something that you want. Like, there's gonna be people that are gonna try to throw you off your tracks.
Hell yeah, misery loves company.
Facts.
So that's like the last going out question. Feel me? I appreciate you for coming on my podcast. I feel like you did an amazing job.
Did I? Oh, I did good. Yeah, we could
if,
just talk for hours. I feel like, damn.
if you could talk to the 15-year-old Ashley, like with this knowledge and shit you know right now, what advice would you give her?
Love yourself. Love yourself and trust yourself. That's what I would say. I would also tell her that you should stop caring about what other people want and what other people think. Do what you want to do and trust and love yourself enough to follow what you think is right and what's best for you. That's what I would say. Stop placing people too high and important in your life that don't deserve that. Yeah, that was deep, but yeah.
I feel like we all do put the wrong people on the pedestal at a point in time in our life.
Yeah.
It's like we first, no matter what. Like you first in your life, I'm first in my life. Feel me?
Yeah, it doesn't necessarily mean be selfish, but like you can't help others unless you help you.
Yeah.
Like you can't be you're 100% for everyone around you that you love and that loves you if you're not there 100%. Like you got to take care of yourself first, and you got to like not place importance on everyone else's opinions of you, because
I had seen like all successful people is selfish. Cause like say somebody wanted to chill with me today, and it's like I got to do a podcast. They probably genuinely want to be around me, want to something, but I got to go do something. I got to be selfish with my time, cause I got goals and stuff. And like till we get to where we want to be, we got to be selfish, feel me? Because time, everybody, we only get so many summers, springs, falls, and winter and this shit.
I think the word selfish kind of gets a negative connotation. Everyone has to be selfish sometimes. Like, a lot of the things you love about me is because I'm selfish. You know what I mean? I poured into myself. My aura and my personality even. You like to be around me because that's a positive thing about me. I wouldn't have that if I didn't pour into myself and let that flourish. Like, so I think like saying someone's selfish, like if you're self-absorbed, like if you're everything's about you all the time, that's what's negative. But being selfish, sometimes you have to. You got to be selfish, like, with your time. It's like, it's your life. Like, it's not anyone else's. I know people who, you know, who really live their life based around everybody around them, and they're so unhappy.
Hell yeah.
So unhappy. Like, even, I know, like, you know, some, they're good people. It doesn't mean they're a bad person, but they, you know, they're always concerned about, you know, what everyone else wants, and it's like, damn, what do you want? Like, what makes you happy? Because, like, those are the type of people that are like chameleons. You can put them in a room and they're gonna change into somebody else based on who they're around, and that, I don't like that. Like, I'm gonna be me. I might be a little shy, not talk a lot in certain situations, but, like, I'm always gonna be me. Like, I'm not gonna switch up everything about myself just to make you more comfortable.
Yeah, you can't do that. I appreciate you though. Thank you for coming on my podcast.
Thank you. I had so much fun.
Yeah.
Thanks, Buck. That was good.
Yeah.